Your mindset plays a role in your success and failure. On today's show, we're learning how to leverage it all to become the best you could be, personally and professionally. Joining me now in the studio is Ricky Kalman, who is a mindset expert, motivational speaker, celebrity hypnotist, which we're going to get into later, and author of Leverage Your Mindset, Overcome Limiting Beliefs and Amplify Your Life. Who doesn't need this book right here, folks? This is what I'm talking about. This is the book. So if you don't have it, run right now and get it. We'll also have a link right below this video that you're watching to get yourself your own copy, which I highly recommend. It's an awesome book and it will change your life. So Ricky Kalman, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you, Jim. Great to see you. Great to connect with you.
Yeah,
super excited about being here.
So let's kind of jump right in here. I know that we've got the attention of our audience right now to say mindset. Everybody wants a positive mindset. Every single morning that my wife and I, as you know, she's my business partner as well, and we drive in and all we listen to is positive stuff coming through, our system in the car that just gets us motivated, because it's so important. You could have a terrible, your world could be falling apart, but as long as you got a positive mindset, you can win at the end of the day, right? Because it's all about
absolutely.
that.
And you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I mean, you understand that it's about building resilience.
Right.
Listen, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're going to have problems.
There's
I don't care
question.
who you are.
That's right. That's right.
But and I am sure you can attest to this. All the successful people you have interviewed in your lifetime, and I know there's a lot, I bet you they all have one common trait besides their product, service, or whatever their skill set is.
Sure.
I guarantee you, mindset and their belief to help them overcome challenges, adapt to change, remove doubt when it comes in the room, and reset and redirect their thoughts to achieve where they want to go.
That's right. That's right.
It's not rocket science, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not something that's new. This has been around for a long time. But like you said, people are starting to step up and go, wait a minute, this is now more than ever.
I know.
Mindset is not a soft skill.
That's right.
It's a hard skill.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And why is it that we don't understand that? When there's troubling times, there's troubling waters ahead, and you right away you kind of delve right into that. Your mind goes there. Oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna make it through this? Right?
Absolutely. I mean,
we do that instead of the positive.
Well, look, in business and life. So it's an overlap.
Yeah.
All too often, our mind becomes our best friend or our worst enemy.
That's
and
right.
we blame it like it's somebody else. We'll literally say, well, my mind got the best of me. Well, whose mind are you talking about?
That's right.
It's yours.
That's right.
So it's about being accountable.
Yeah.
About giving yourself permission to make that change.
Sure.
As I said, you're human.
Yeah.
So let's be a little bit more understanding about the unconscious thoughts that are unconsciously guiding us.
That's right.
I think most people, and again, I'm going to raise my hand up to this.
Yeah.
We're unaware of being unaware.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
You ever driven your car 20, 30 miles, even driving to the studio, you're even the conversation with your wife,
sure,
or you're listening to something and you forget about where you're going.
That's right. All the time.
But you still were able to drive, you turned the blinker on, you still didn't get in an accident, but if emergency should happen, call to action, what do?
That's right.
You respond. Your mind took you to a different place.
That's right.
These are what I call auto thoughts.
Yeah.
The auto thoughts that we have that are embedded in our mind can be either constructive or deconstructive.
That's right. That's
the
right.
real question is, if you're a leader, you're a business owner, you're in sales, how aware are you of your internal programming that is guiding you, and that's your software?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
The real question is, how often do you update your software? And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, if you're in sales and every day you get up, and if you have a bad day, where's your software taking you?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're in customer service, are you offering solutions? Are you focused too much on the numbers or the negativity that you just experienced? Mm-hmm. It's about resetting again that software so it gets rid of that virus that's holding you back.
That's right.
And again, this is nothing new.
No. And we know
this
it, right?
This is nothing new.
Yeah.
But like you just said, you listen to positive information. Positivity is not going to make you a rich person. Positivity is not going to put,
That's right.
Put all the pieces together and call, your clients or close the deals. But it makes it so much easier to do those things better.
That's right. That's right. And we all need that. So talk to us a little bit about, explain the mindfulness and self-awareness that it can, the role that it can play in enhancing decision-making and leadership skills. You just mentioned a few of them, but elaborate on that.
Yeah. Leaders are leading people every single day.
Yeah.
Great leaders make better leaders, but who's leading them?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, when
That's
you
right.
you've talked to some of the most amazing entrepreneurs,
Sure.
leaders, coaches,
Yeah.
game changers,
Yeah.
real visionaries, but who is leading them within themselves? And I think that no matter who you are,
Yep.
and listen closely, folks, if you step back and sit in the audience and really view where you are, we get a better understanding of our own direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think leaders need to stop sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I'm sure we all say this, I don't have time.
Yeah.
I got too much on my plate. People rely on me. You should see my emails. My
Right.
calendar is full. I'm
Sure.
double booked. If I audited every single person that said that, I guarantee you I could find 5 or 10 minutes out of their day.
There's an hour and a half on TikTok with me each day.
Right. And during COVID, it was 3 hours.
That's right. That's right.
So
those are excuses.
yeah, they are. It's a distraction.
Right.
Now, if you work out and you are mindful and you're healthy, that's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sitting down and doing nothing but breathing.
Right.
And we all know that when we sit and calm, we're just better.
I know.
And why do we have to go on vacation to relax? I mean, you ever said when you got home from vacation, I need a vacation from my
vacation.
Yeah, what were you doing in the first place?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So why do we have to put off what we should be doing right now?
That's right. And it needs to be done every day, right? I mean, that meditation needs to be done
Absolutely.
every single day, not on Wednesdays or Fridays or right.
And Jim, you bring something up. It does need to be every day. It needs to be a constant training so it becomes automatic, where you don't think about it. It shouldn't be a have to do.
Right.
It's a want to do. And if you literally set it on, listen, we're going to talk about your phone for a second. I showed up today because you sent me a calendar invite, right? You showed up because it's on your calendar.
Sure.
When's the last time you put an invite for yourself?
Yeah, never.
So if you're a leader in sales or whatever you are, if you're an entrepreneur,
That's right.
if you want to do better at everything you do, why don't you just set 10 minutes on your calendar? You can move it around. Doesn't have to be a specific time. And just sit and do nothing but breathe.
Right.
I mean, we add layers to it. It's not just that. I'm not just saying breathe and everything's going to be perfect. But once you start to understand that mindfulness of setting that time and that investment in you have the ability now to work on that new software.
Right.
And that's where my training comes in. It's like, okay, what's the script?
Sure.
Where do you want to go?
Sure.
How are you speaking to yourself?
Sure. And it's the old adage of junk in, junk out, right? I mean, that's been around now for 50 years. That depending on what you're going to put in the computer, that's what you're going to get back out, right? And all too often, as leaders and business owners and salespeople, we allow our mind to let the junk in and not let enough of the positivity and good thoughts in, so that you can work out a solution to any kind of a problem, right?
Absolutely. Energy flows where attention goes.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about
it. So you go back to those auto thoughts.
Yep.
What are you fixated on right now? In the morning, in the afternoon?
Yeah.
You just had a really tough call with somebody and they're going to happen.
Of course.
How are you going to reset that at that moment? Where's your focus? Are you still focused on that call, on maybe something negative, or are you fixing the solution? We dwell too much on problems these days.
Yeah, we do. No question.
We repeat it over and over again.
Yep.
We tell everybody else what's going on. But do we actually come to the table with a solution?
That's exactly right. It almost seems like if we bring up the problem enough, it's going to cure itself. And it's only going to make that problem worse, right?
Yeah. I'll give you a quick little example. I was sitting in an executive office. I do a lot of training for this company and leader, and somebody comes in with a problem. It was a very important problem. Without going into too much details or giving away who it was, the leader just sat back and listened to the associate talk about the problem. And then the associate looked at the leader and said, "What do we do?" And the leader said, "What would you do?" And so they pivoted and changed things and shifted the perspective, and the associate came up with solutions and then walked out and never got advice from the leader. And I watched this whole scenario. I'm going, that mindset was incredible.
Yeah.
And the response is, my job is to make better leaders. So I give them the mindset that they are capable of finding out solutions, again, if you're a leader, listen carefully, think about how you interact with your employees to make them better.
Right.
That's key.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Because if you don't, that person is going to be standing in front of your office every single day looking for direction and looking for this for you to solve their problems,
Right.
and the problems that are in front of them. When in reality, it makes perfect sense that leader would say, what would you do in this situation? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something that you would have recommended anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you're in sales and you have a bad day, are you complaining about, it's the economy? I don't have the source, I don't have the product, we're backlogged, we don't have inventory.
Right. I would have made that deal, but we were just
I can't do it. That's not my problem. We don't have the color car, whatever it is.
Sure.
I'm blaming it on distribution right now. Well, I understand. What's another alternative solution?
Right. And that's the key.
And if you allow yourself to manifest those type of things and focus on that, then you start realizing, wow, wait a minute, there's a different way of doing this. And maybe if I offer this solution to the customer, maybe their perspective changes.
That's right. It's so important. Anybody that's watching right now that's in sales or in leadership for that matter, it's so vitally important, because people that are in sales, they might get rejected 90% of the time. When somebody goes, no, I hear it saying thanks anyway, I already got one, the prices, whatever the case might be. You might only close 10% of the people that you come in contact with or that you pitch. So that wears on you over time, to the point that a lot of salespeople just walk up to a prospect and go, you're probably not going to buy today, right? Let me show you the item anyway. And all of a sudden it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah, and if you're in sales, I try to give people the different perspective of, you're creating an experience. You're an expert.
That's true.
You're not selling. If you're selling, people know it. Nobody wants to be sold.
Right.
I've never met anyone that says,
No.
sign me up.
That's
I
right.
want you to sell me.
That's right.
No, I want somebody that creates an experience. And by the way, if I don't buy that day, I'm going to go back, because they are caring. They listen to me. Again, put yourself in the shoes of the customer. What is the mindset of the customer when you approach them? They're like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, no, step back and think about how you want to be treated before you approach a customer.
Right.
What would be the best experience? I mean, you go to a restaurant that has you have a bad experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a bad experience. Okay, what do you do the minute somebody mentions the name of the restaurant? You go, I'm not going there.
Don't go there.
Right. Because the memory is embedded about your experience.
That's right.
You might not have thought about it.
That's right.
You might not have even cared to refresh it. But when somebody said it, now, do we give that opportunity a way of changing? Maybe they changed owners. Maybe there's better training.
Sure.
Maybe it was just a bad day for the server.
Yeah.
And you say, maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah.
It all goes down to mindset.
That's right.
Not only for the customer, but for the provider itself.
That's right. There's no question. And so often you'll see somebody that will picking up on that example, where they'll throw away a whole brand, or they'll throw away a whole restaurant or company or whatever the case might be, based on that one experience with that one individual. And we all do that, right? We'll pick up our phone and just trash it online and say, oh, never go there. They were rude to me. Okay. Well, maybe that person at that company was rude to you, right?
But it's engraved. That experience is engraved. And can that experience change? One of the keys when I do a live event, and there's whether it's 50 people or 5,000, one of the things that when we talk to sales and leadership groups, try to have the mindset that you are going to create walking billboards.
Yeah.
Every customer is a walking billboard.
Yeah.
And if you create that experience in their mind, that will be embedded. So when somebody talks about your brand, and you're not in the room,
that's right.
How are they talking about you?
That's right. And now today, as I mentioned earlier, every audience has an audience. Every customer has a customer base, right? So what do? They go right to Facebook. They go right to Yelp. They do whatever they're going to do. So it's not even, no longer is it a one-on-one. No longer is the person just going to tell their neighbor or their friend or their child. They're going to tell the entire world, right? And you want to make sure that whatever they're putting out there is positive, especially when it's so easy to be fixed, right?
Information flows so fast these days.
That's right.
It's so amazing.
That's right. We all do have those tough days. We've got a team here at the studios, and sometimes things don't always go right. And it's hard for a leader to maintain their positivity throughout the day and to motivate everyone else in the group. And I know a lot of small business owners, as well as a lot of whether it be automobile dealers or restaurant owners or realtors, or whatever the case might be. They might have, to your point, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 200 people working for them. But they themselves need to get motivated and get positive. How do you recommend that?
Great athletes do one thing. they train their muscles,
Yeah.
right? Years of dedication, of persistence,
Mm-hmm.
of heartache and literally muscle strains and breaks and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the difference between a winning athlete and a great athlete
Mm-hmm.
is that they also condition their brain as well.
Yeah.
So they're in the mental gym as much as they are in the physical gym.
That's a good
So
point.
why are they privy to this? They're not. And if you're a leader in sales and you get a new product, new service, whatever, you're going to do your due diligence. If you're really good to learn everything about it, you're going to use it, you're going to talk about it. But what do you do on the mental conditioning side?
Right.
And again, we'll look at the stats, we'll look at everything online, but it comes down to what are you doing in rewriting that thought process? So one of the things that I try to keep people to do is create a balance
Mm-hmm.
of product knowledge and service
Mm-hmm.
and of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you start to work on those both, and they both marry each other, and
Mm-hmm.
boom,
Mm-hmm.
magic happens.
Yeah, for sure. And it's people like you that through your books, through your training, through now an app that I want to talk about here shortly. But it's so important that people fill their minds with things like this, rather than the war that's going on in the Middle East and the economy here at home or the presidential election. Regardless of what side you're on, it's craziness out there. Because by the time we even get to work sometimes, whether we could be even in our home office now, so many people work from home, or if we're making that commute, you're filling your mind with so much negativity, you don't even want to get out of the car half the time, right?
All too often,
Yeah.
exactly what you just said. Other external environment, whether it's a conversation, an opinion,
Yeah.
or a negative thought, rules our world.
Right.
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 So the real thing is that you can't control everything in the world.
Yeah.
You can't control what I say about you, but you can control how you react
That's right.
and perceive the world that you live in.
That's right.
It's a step back. It's hitting the pause button.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with watching the news, nothing wrong with having an opinion.
Yeah.
But is it going to rule your environment,
Mm-hmm.
interaction,
Mm-hmm.
your next conversation?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand that you have the remote control.
Yeah, you do.
You can hit that pause button.
That's right. That's right.
And when somebody says, well, that's hard, and my first response is, you're right.
Yeah.
If you say it, you believe it.
Yeah, that's right.
If you say
just
it's
locked it
hard,
in.
your mind already doesn't want to let you down.
That's right. Just like if you said it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you said, oh, that because I'm listening to you, and I'm like, oh, that's easy to do.
Yeah.
Boom. If you're the gatekeeper to your mind, why are you letting that negativity in, right?
Jim, you have kids, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did you ever teach them how to ride a bike?
Yes, I did.
Okay. First time on a bike, child's on the bike, child falls off.
Yep.
What do you say?
Get back on the bike.
Right. You don't say
Happens
you're
to-
worthless, try chess. No, you don't do that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
You say, get back on.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Right.
You're the cheerleader.
Yep.
Right? You're
That's
the
right.
coach.
That's right.
So why
That's
is it in life that sometimes adults
Yeah.
forget the simplicity? And if you're listening to this and going, well, they're just talking that I just got to be positive. No, it's a conditioning.
Yeah.
It's a way of auto-correcting what words we are saying, because words are magic
That's right.
to the receptive listener.
Yeah.
So no matter who you are, no matter how successful you are,
Yeah.
no matter where you are in the corporate ladder, if you're just starting out in the business or if you're a seasoned veteran, mindset matters.
No question about
It
it.
will be your best friend.
Ricky, what do you do with that salesperson that is that just does an amazing job in productivity? Right? They're leading the
Mhm.
board. They're leading they have all the trophies. They're salesman of the month. But man, are they toxic among the other team members and the other people in the company. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? The ones that I think early on realized that my competition doesn't lie down the road or down the street. It lies from within. If I can keep all the other salespeople negative, then I'm going to come out and be a star. But I've heard this from so many people before where they say, oh my God, I got this guy. I just want to kill this individual because, and then at the same time, I want to hug them because they're just kicking butt
great
right now. They're doing great. They're making all kinds of money. What do you do with somebody like that to try to turn them around?
That's a great question, and I think everybody's different.
Yeah.
You try to bring them in, try to appeal to their, if you will, their success.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those people can really contribute if you give them the credit and say, you can make a difference.
Yeah.
You can make a difference right now. You can make that choice. You can have the mindset of being toxic, and I'll just be really upfront with you.
Sure.
You choose. Do you want to be toxic? Tell me. Do you want to be toxic? And
Right.
I'll keep saying it. And then it's okay. Or do you want to create a shift? You know, do you want to be a culture changer?
Yeah.
Do you want to make a difference in other people's lives?
Mm-hmm.
How gratifying would that be?
Yeah.
I think they have to give them a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because right now their perspective is, I'm a winner. I'm knocking you out.
Right?
That's right. That's what you're saying.
That's right. That's right.
So if you want to help this team and you can still be a winner, why don't we create other winners?
Yeah.
And how would that benefit you in representing this brand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No question about it. That's a great line. I know that there's going to be some people out there writing that down right now or replaying this video because it's great advice.
How often do we unconsciously act on our internal programming that guides us? Our decisions, our actions, our conclusions, our arguments, and our resolutions are usually played out before it happens in that space between our ears.
That's right. That's right. We own it.
Yeah. You come in the studio here today, you have something in your mind, you're getting ready to talk to somebody, maybe it's a phone call, maybe just our interaction. I guarantee you were thinking about it before it happened.
Yep.
So let's replay it, then maybe give it some visualization, give it some guided imagery. How do you want to play this out? And see how that changes it. It's almost like you're doing it first by yourself, and then when you're live, it's already been done already. So it becomes easier.
That's right. That's right. Hey, before I let you get out of here, and I appreciate all the time that you've given us today, I want to talk about your app, because now all of this great information is just as close as your phone, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about the motivation behind creating the app, and then tell me what somebody's going to find when they get it.
My biggest problem is that scaling me.
Okay.
Because I travel around the world doing these events for corporations, associations.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this is my business is live events. What do I do when I'm gone? And by the way, I'm a big proponent of, if you're going to hire a speaker or a motivator, it should never be a cheerleading session. What's going to happen? What's your plan after the event?
Right.
How are you going to keep this residual kind of training? And it's taken me years to kind of really hone and fine tune all these little things that I do. Started out, in the day of cassettes and CDs and flash drives and downloads.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to create a mindset coach in the palm of your hands. Nobody else's content, just me. So if you like my philosophy and you want me to be your trainer in your head and help you become that trainer, I created a mobile app that literally is that reset and redirect.
Right.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, whether it's sleeping better, stress, sports. If you're a golfer, I'm going to help you reduce. I'm going to help you. Yeah, absolutely. Take 1 or 2 strokes off your game.
Fantastic.
And that's powerful.
Right.
Sales, confidence, leadership, all these different things are programming. I truly believe that people can change if you allow yourself and give yourself permission to change.
That's right.
So I created this app. It's constantly evolving. We're putting new content, new videos.
That's great.
It's available as you use my book.
Yeah.
Because there's certain sections in the app for the book. But then you can really dive in and go through a whole bunch of things. And it can be literally right there when you need it, like your best friend. And,
that's exactly right.
It's a very cool product. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of my, my golf is putting that app together. And it's available online. You can just search the title, Ricky Kalman.
Yep, it's an amazing app. I've been on it, and as is the book. For those of you, leverage your mindset, overcoming limiting beliefs, and amplify your life. I'm telling you, folks, you got to get the book. It's been out now, I think, a couple of years, right?
It has,
but we're going to make the link right below. We're also going to show on the screen here a QR code so that it'll take you right over to Ricky's app, which I highly recommend. So Ricky Kalman, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. This has been great. I want to keep talking to you now. I think I'm going to go to your app to get what
I'm going to work on that golf game.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much.